welcome everybody. I know there's a lot of excitement here. I am just as excited as you are. The chief just told me it's Christmas. I said I don't think it's that cold just yet, but it is an exciting day. This is one of those days, I always say I love, my second favorite day is a groundbreaking, and my favorite day is a ribbon cutting. Although I've never done a truck pushing, a fire truck pushing, but my firefighter friends tell me this is very important for a new fire station. Just about everybody here, I think, remembers that a few years ago we made a proposal to City Council to put something on the ballot that would show our firefighters and our police officers and our judges the importance of these facilities for our employees. We have just fire stations in terrible condition. We have police stations in terrible condition and old schools. And it was really important for us to have what we talked about was updated equipment, helping for recruiting, making sure that we show our first responders that they deserve the dignity to not have workout equipment in their bunks and to not have the same showers for men and women, and really to have the equipment that they need. So in November of 2022, the Lansing voters overwhelmingly passed a plan to modernize our public safety facilities. In addition to the public safety and district court complex, which is going up very fast on South Washington, we said we were going to upgrade and modernize several fire stations across the city. Again, we had tremendous support from City Council. I see former Councilwoman, but at the time Councilwoman Patricia Spitzley, who is a champion for this on council, and certainly I know she's smiling as big as I am. So we know that a new Fire Station 9 is being built on South Washington. Fire Station 8 on Marshall will close pretty soon for several months to get upgraded. And today we are here in the beautiful new modern Fire Station 2, which you couldn't miss because there's an enormous 2 on the building right as you're driving here. But what a beautiful station, what a beautiful job. The old station, for those who have been here, maybe the media may not have come by the old station. It was built in 1962. It was old, it was small, and it was completely outdated for modern emergency service needs. Nearly 80% of the calls to LFD are for EMS services, which our firefighters know very well. And the old Station 2 was too small even for an ambulance. So this new Station 2, where we're all standing, will be able to house an ambulance, and it'll provide greater service to this northwest sector of our city. We also have a safe new secure ballot drop box location. I know Clerk Swope talks about that everywhere he goes. He got himself a new facility on the south side, but we'll have these safe and secure ballot drop boxes here in our fire station. I am incredibly proud and thankful to the men and the women of the Lansing Fire Department who work every day to keep our residents safe. I see several of them here, and I'd like to give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. You are doing what it takes to keep Lansing safe, and we as a community have done what we believe is important to get you not only some new rigs and new trucks, but a station that really shows the dignity and respect. We also are incredibly proud that while Station 2 was down and services were shifted, we know our firefighters and our EMS workers worked hard to ensure, and there were no significant delays in response time. We got that question, and of course, our firefighters stood up and said no delays in response time, and they were able to get that done. I want to thank a few other people, and then I will turn it over. I want to thank again City Clerk Chris Swope, who is here, who's been a big part of this, Councilwoman Patricia Spitzley, who helped to make this happen. I saw this whole conversation started a few years ago when Kevin and John McGraw approached me about this idea. Kevin and John McGraw work for River Caddis, who are based here in the Lansing area, and they said that we really need to do more in Lansing. We need to help out. And as we formulated this plan, they both really were an integral part of it. So I saw Kevin in the back and John in the back. Thank you, gentlemen from River Caddis. And they put out a bid, and Crispin, of course, stood up, and Crispin said, we're going to help out. Crispin, as many of you know, have done a lot of our schools in the area, and Amy was wonderful to work with. So Crispin has been fantastic. Hobbs and Black has been fantastic. BKV, all of these folks who came together to really get this done and start the dominoes falling on our infrastructure. I saw Callie Fox from Senator Peters' office. We always appreciate Senator Peters and the advocacy and the money he's brought to us from DC. He never forgets Lansing, and it's appreciated. And then I saw a few of our department directors. Everybody's excited. We have Kim Coleman from our Human Relations and Community Service, and I saw Elizabeth O'Leary here. And she's really excited because she's our HR director, and we talk about recruiting. This is a tool for recruiting, making sure we're getting our firefighters and EMS. So thank you to everybody here. This is a happy day, and it's the first of many, and I am excited. We also have several members of our fire board here, but I'm not going to introduce them because we have our fire board chair, Barbara Lawrence, who's going to say a few words and then maybe introduce some of the members that are here. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mayor Schor. What a great day. Christmas, yes, but Thanksgiving. Isn't this wonderful? And I will introduce a couple members of the fire board, but I did recognize that there are a couple of fire retirees here. We are so grateful for your service. Please raise your hand, retirees. Yes. We stand on your shoulders. Thank you. I would like to also thank the members of the fire board that are here. Steve Purchase, former chair. John Scott. Jared LaRue. Am I missing anybody that came in at the last minute? Thank you for attending, gentlemen. On behalf of the Lansing Fire Board, I welcome our professional firefighters to their new and safe work and living environment here at Station 2. This investment will be returned to we, the taxpayers, each time these doors are raised. The board thanks our firefighters for their patience during the disruptions, and we look forward to celebrating with you again as the work in other locations continues. Enjoy your quarters, Station 2.
And before we push the truck, I would love to have our chief come up and say a few words. So, Chief Edwards-Clemons, please join us at the mic.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is with great pride and excitement that we gather here today to celebrate the grand opening of Lansing's newest fire station number 2, a symbol of progress, resilience, and our unwavering commitment to public safety. The project began as a vision to remodel an aging facility, but as the community looked deeper, they realized that firefighters, our community, said you deserve more. The vision evolved into a brand new state-of-the-art fire station completed at a total cost of $5.3 million. What's even more remarkable is that while the original construction was scheduled for 15 months, they completed it in 11 months. Yeah. Thank you. This achievement is the result of a powerful collaboration over a dozen dedicated City of Lansing employees, 35 architects, engineers, and construction managers, and more than 170 skilled trade workers brought this project to life. And I'm proud to say that the vast majority of these professionals are local, right here from the Lansing area. This station was built by our community for our community. Fire Station number 2 is more than a building, it's a promise to protect, to serve, and to stand ready in times of need. It reflects the strength of our fire department and the trust our residents placed in us every day. To everyone who had a hand in this project, thank you. For your hard work, your craftsmanship, and your commitment have created a legacy that will serve Lansing for generations to come. And thank you from the firefighters, because it lets us know that we are thought of, we are loved, and that you recognize the job that we do. And we thank you for allowing us to better serve you as a community. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you, everyone. We're gonna push the truck, but last but not least, again, I want to reiterate, thank you to the taxpayers of Lansing.
Yes.
We know, and I'm talking to a lot of folks, we know that it's not easy, that times are tough, and our taxpayers said we're gonna dig down deep, and we're gonna use our dollars to make sure that our firefighters and our police officers have the facilities they need. Again, it's not always easy, but our voters, they weighed the benefit and they thought we need this, and now this is what they get to see as an example of their investment. So thank you to the taxpayers, the residents of the city of Lansing.
So now we're going to head outside for the pushback ceremony. And so the history, this dates all the way back to the early 1700s. And so at that time we had horse-drawn carriages that kind of, with our fire trucks, and so they had to detach it and push it back into the station. So we've come a long way. We've come a very long way. And so it represents the commitment to the community to serve, and that this is all because of you, and that we want you to be a part of this because this is because of you. So we want to thank you. We have various members of the community that's going to put their hand and they're going to walk with the fire crews, and that's crew 2 over there. They're going to be the ones that's going to be here, and so I'm sure they have a lot to say. And so we're going to go out here and we're going to push it back in, and it represents the commitment to the community that we serve, and also to know that we are still here to protect and serve, and we thank you for allowing us this opportunity to just be in this space right now. So it is Christmas to me now. So thank you so much, and if we can step up this way.
Voters passed a millage and said we're going to pay $175 million to make sure that our police officers and our firefighters and our courts have the facilities that they need to get the job done and keep us safe. And this is it. This is the first piece of the puzzle. This is the first domino to fall. Fire Station 2 getting completely rebuilt, getting to see what an incredible facility we have. 8 bunks, and we've got some bathrooms with showers in them. We've got a great kitchen. We've got incredible facilities. We're able to get a fire truck and an ambulance into the garage here. This is going to be wonderful for the northwest part of the city. Resources that our firefighters just didn't have, that our EMS just didn't have. So I'm proud that we're able to get this first piece done. The rest is going to continue to come over the next year and a half. But this is what our voters envisioned and now it's coming to life. So I'm thrilled, and as our chief said, it's Christmas in Lansing, and we're excited.
My name is Jordan Spitzley. I am the Community Resource Officer with Lansing Fire Department, and I'm here today at the brand new Station 2. Just opened it here on the city's north side on Grand River. This has been a long time coming. As a former member of a Station 2 crew myself, being in the old Station 2 and now seeing the new Station 2, it's just amazing that everything was able to fit on the same footprint. And so we've invited the residents to come out, take a tour of the building. We're currently standing in the common room right now in the kitchen area where many a meal and good times are going to be had. I'm looking forward to seeing what the firefighters do with this station once they move in here, and just looking at a better opportunity to protect the residents of the north side. Station 2 has always kind of been a staple since 1962 of being on the city's north end and protecting the city's north end. So we needed a station that kind of resembled how much pride we have in protecting the city's north side. A couple improvements to the stations. We have personal bedrooms now with doors, bathrooms with doors that shut. We've got air conditioning. We've got better entertainment system, a better bay to fit bigger apparatus. Everything about this station is just improved from the older model. So it's extremely exciting. I might have to take a shift in here myself just so I can get the full aspect of it, but I just can't wait to see where this station goes from here, and I can't wait to see what else the city is able to provide us. And thank you to the taxpayers as well, because this wasn't possible without them.
This building is unique because it has separated the apparatus of firefighting from the living quarters with airlock entrances. Nowadays, when firefighters go out on a run, they're exposed to fumes that are carcinogenic. That is, they can cause cancer. And before the station was built, they would bring those fumes with them into the area where they lived and slept and ate. Now, thanks to the airlock system, those fumes stay outside of their living areas. As you can see, they've got a renovated kitchen, but they have kept the stove from the former department. They also have a big screen TV that, of course, is going to be used for entertainment, but also will be programmed to show what's going on in the fire department, which departments are on what run and where did they go, so that the fire department has constant 24/7 information available.
Carrie, Edwards-Clemons, Assistant Fire Chief of the Lansing Fire Department. I'm here with Dan. Dan?
Hi, I'm Dan Wazinski. I'm with River Caddis. We were the owner's representative for this project. Also assisted on the bond that made this whole public safety thing possible. So we're starting here at New Fire Station 2. Construction started 11 months ago. We had probably about a year of work, design work going into that. As the chief talked about earlier in her speech, we had about a dozen city employees. We have 35 consultants, engineers, and architects, and 170 skilled trades workers on this project. The vast majority of them were from the Lansing area, so the voters got to get a piece of this action. So it was really great the way this worked out.
It's awesome.
So we're starting right now in the only public safety, or the public portion of the project, and which is the vestibule here, where the public can come in. Bathroom is open. Police department, when they're on the road, this is a place for them to use the restroom as well. And we had a lot of custom artwork based on the patch, firefighter's patch. So we've got it outside, we've got it all over the place, and this is a nice piece of artwork that a local consultant did.
And pride, professionalism, and excellence. That's our motto. And that's what this represents to the city of Lansing.
All right, now coming in, this is a secure door, so this entire station is completely secure where there's no general public involved. In here we have the watch office. Let's go into the watch office. This is where the firefighters on duty will be doing their day-to-day office work, their paperwork, upcoming certifications, and so on. And here, this big board here will be their call board. So whenever an emergency call comes in, it goes up on this board. Then we've got Roco sticks that go throughout the whole fire station, because we have 8 other monitors just like this one stationed across the whole site. So people know if the call comes, they can see it right there in front of them. Security is something that we really take seriously out here now, and we can see perfectly fine outside, but it's a mirrored window looking in, so you don't want to see silhouettes from the street just because you don't want the public knowing where people are in the building. When somebody's working, this window here in the apparatus bay allows folks who are working inside here to see what's out in the garage. And when they're going out on a call, is everything, are they dragging something down the road or whatnot? But so there is the apparatus bay. We'll hit the apparatus bay a little bit later here and talk about how the cancer safety had really taken a big part into this project, protecting your firefighters. Yes. Across the hall here behind you. So this is the captain's office. And as you know, each shift has a captain that is in charge of each station, and then a battalion chief that's in charge of the entire shift across the city. So this one here will have a captain station, and this office is pretty wide open because there is no interior decorating going on, and they'll be bringing their own trinkets in. The difference in the different aspects of the public safety bond was that we had courts, police, and fire. Fire department is the only department that actually lives in their office. So we treated these more as homes than we did as an actual station. So when we come into here, we have the kitchen. So as you can see, it's a commercial kitchen. We have commercial refrigerators. We've reused a lot of this equipment from previous fire department. So the stove is from Fire Station 2. The refrigerator's from the old clerk's office, so we tried to use as much as we could and reuse as much as we could from the city to try and save money. But what you try to accomplish in a firehouse is that this main room here is to include everybody in it. So you want to be able to have somebody over here preparing dinner, watching the Super Bowl while the rest of everyone else is in here having fun. So nobody's left out. So we try not to have any walls in between. The center focus of all fire stations is the table, right? So we even took into consideration, if you look under here, it's a pedestal mount table, so nobody sits on a leg. So you could put 30 chairs around here and nobody's sitting sideways like that. So each of these tables are custom made, and we're going to do one for each of the new fire stations. So we have Fire Station 9, which will be completed next year, and then Fire Station 8. Hopefully we'll be finished at year end as well. That's just a renovation. So this is their living area. This is completely secure back here, so we don't have to worry about strangers walking in. Tried to make it as a little slice of heaven for these folks. We got room for cornhole boards back over there, and we got a grill that's hard piped in, so they don't have to keep changing the tank out. Dining room table, a little nook right here. And let's say they get a call. Somebody's cooking, somebody's grilling. We've got a kill switch here that right behind here that kills the gas and everything else that's cooking, so folks don't have to worry about burning the chili on the pot when they're out responding to a call. This is what's considered the day room. Purposely I have the lights turned down because I don't think I've ever been in a day room that's been daylight. They like it cold and dark and restful, so this is just meant for people to get along together and hang out and become part of a family. Now, as we go back now, this is we're going back into the bunk rooms. This will be the actual living quarters of the firefighters back here. So one of the things that Chief asked us to focus on was to have bunk rooms that are comfortable, but not so comfortable as that we want people staying in their rooms because they're encouraged to be outside. So they're going to have a desk in here so they can do their studies, a very comfortable bed, and then blackout windows so someone can sleep during the daytime. If you see these, that's a blackout window that we got here. We have 3 cabinets here behind you, one for each shift. So somebody can come in. If somebody's sleeping, they can come in. We've got no slam hinges on them, so it doesn't wake everyone up. And this is a soundproof chamber right here, so people can make all kinds of racket in the hallway and not disturb the folks sleeping, because sleep deprivation is the second biggest problem in firefighters. We'll talk about the first one here in a moment. So now, Chief, we head down the hallway. Here's our first restroom, and our clean floors have already gotten dirty. We have 8 bunk rooms total, and then 3 restrooms. And as we come down the hallway, we go to the weight room, which has been a highlight for every firefighter that's been here so far. So as you can see, the weight room's spacious. We make sure that all the windows are facing north because nobody wants light blazing in here. We've got all kinds of pieces of equipment. Things like the Stairmaster are part of the physical fitness test for the firefighters, so we made sure to include that. Stairmaster is probably the old name for it, I'm not sure what it is now. But so we included pieces of equipment in that so they could actually train for their fitness test. So you can see there's a whole lot of equipment in here, a little something for everybody.
It's actually Lansing.
It is Lansing, yeah.
This is Lansing.
Yeah, here's a mural of Lansing. Yeah. So here's the laundry room, the first of 2 laundry rooms. So a very common problem, as you know, with firefighters is cancer. Every fire they go to, toxic smoke gets all over their clothes. And we have a problem with cross-contamination of firefighters taking what they're collecting outside into the living quarters. So we focused on 3 separate zones. This is called the green zone over here. The living quarters is called the green zone. This airlock here is the yellow zone. So the yellow zone is under pressure, as is this room here. So whenever something, or one of these doors open up, air goes this way, not this way, okay? And then every task that they've done, that they do on the outside dirty, they can do on the inside clean. Starting with the laundry room here. This is for clothes only. In years past, and I'm sure as our retired firefighter back there knows, they just threw everything into one washing machine. And that just swilled all the toxic chemicals around, and next thing you know, it's on your t-shirts and your socks and everything else you wear. So we have 2 separate. This will be the clean laundry room for just their laundry themselves. So they got 2 washers, 2 dryers, so they can wash their bed sheets, pants, shirts, and whatnot. Now, we're gonna go through the airlock right here. So we don't have the system completely fired up yet, but in the future, when you open this up, you're gonna feel a breeze. Like it's pumping air in here. So here we have a quick station to wash your hands. So now we're out in the apparatus bay. We have air pressure is going out this way. Now this side is called the red zone. This is all area that contain carcinogens. This is the main work area where all the vehicles are going to be parked. And we store hoses are over there. We have other containment areas back that way that keep all that equipment on this side of the building away from the doors. So behind you here, we have a decon area for EMS, okay? And then we have a workshop. And then we have another airlock that gets us back into, back by the watch room. So we come down here, this is the decon area. We have your 2 extractors and your dryer. So we have a 60-pound and a 40-pound extractor. So when you see the turnout gear, and for the people who don't know, the raincoats that firefighters wear is their turnout gear, that goes in an extractor. It's not to be washed in the dry stuff, or the clean stuff. And because the extractor has a whole different cycle that gets the carcinogens out of it. Then the liners and such would go into this dryer right here. So this would be non-turnout gear. For the raincoats, we have this gear locker. So if you look, it's stainless steel. And so all the firefighters' raincoats and firefighting gear go into here, and they're dried completely separated. And this is all vented outside through a filter. So let's say that you're a firefighter, you just got back from a call, and you're filthy, but nature calls. You have what we have is a dirty bathroom, and we have a shower. So if somebody gets muddy or whatnot, there's a separate shower. This is all meant to be for somebody who has not been decontaminated yet. So you're not cross-contaminating door handles and such. So Chief, this is the turnout gear storage room. Each one of these lockers, here we go, is made for their turnout gear. So it's made to stay dry and for people to see what's in it. I guess we don't necessarily even need doors on them because nobody's going to swipe anybody else's. But so this room, it gets humid and it gets damp. So we've got special HVAC in here that helps dehumidify the area and keep it dry and keep it from getting smelly and the floors sweat. These are Plymavent exhaust capture devices here. So you can see this comes down and attaches to the exhaust pipe. as a magnet. Then when they get a call, they drive right out and it pops right off. And that way we don't have any exhaust inside the station. Here we've got lighted doors. So a common problem is when you have somebody who's half asleep and they're responding to a phone call, driving out the garage door before it's open and then breaking the bottom panel out. So right here, we have these lights that show that green means it's open. And as it comes down, now it turns red. And it's gonna stay red until it gets to the bottom, and so they know when it's completely closed. And then when it opens all the way back up, this is important, you wait till it's green. Yeah, there you go. Now it's okay to drive out without hitting it.
That's awesome.
The other thing is that we have it on the inside here, so somebody on the outside can actually see the light. It's bright enough where they know if it's green or it's red. We'll talk a little bit about how this is different than the old Fire Station 2. Fire Station 2 was a smaller facility. It was 2 stories, and it had only pull-out back-in doors. So the doors were so low because it was built in the 60s, was that when a fire truck would pull out, it had to idle its way out because if it went out under power, it was going to hit the overhead doors. Couldn't fit an ambulance of any normal size in there as well. So now the new station took that into consideration, where we took the whole site, we dropped it a couple of feet because there were slopes in here in the previous site where trucks, when they try and pull in the wintertime, they'd slide back up. So we dropped the grades here a little bit, and now it's a pull-in facility, so they can go all the way around and then pull right through. And then if we wanted to have a second EMS vehicle here, they could back in behind this rig, and we can get up to 8 different crews or 8 different folks working here. So I think that'd be what, 3 crews total? Yep.
That's what we're trying to do too.
Yeah. So
Temporarily.
this station's roughly twice as big as the old one, and then it's in a ranch format because when somebody's in a hurry, you don't want them running downstairs, especially if they're half asleep.
Right.
And then there is the station response, the alerting response, where the rooms, this Ingham County's still doing their upgrade, but once that's done, then the individual rooms will have their notification. So if you're on EMS, you're not getting woken up for a fire call. And if you're on a fire, you're not going to get woken up by an EMS call, which we know there's 16,000 of them a year
Right.
throughout the city. Yep. One of my favorite projects I've ever worked on, so it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's Christmas. Thank you.
You're welcome.